Hi everybody, welcome back to GregTech Horizons, episode 116 with me, Sid, and I've been a busy boy, hence why I've been in the in the box of shame. So last episode we worked out that we needed to take this and all of these. That needs to be a medium voltage. That needs to be a medium voltage. That needs to be. I don't think you need. I think you need to be medium voltage. Medium voltage. Lots and lots of medium voltage stuff. In fact, all of this. So we need two of those. We need, I think, two of those and two of those. We need one of those. We're going to need two of those, and we're going to need two of those, and we're going to need 8 of those. Problem is, these all require medium voltage machine holes. So that is the first instance, which requires aluminium plates, 8 of per. So we've got 2, that's 16, that's 32, that's 48, that, well, whatever that is, that's probably another 8, so that's probably 56. Going to need some for these because I'm going to guess you're LV, I'll let you off, but you aren't, so we're going to need a couple for those. We're also probably going to need, no, we're going to get away without aluminium for that. That's all good. And I went and I had a look at my aluminium stock, and I checked the thing over there to see how much we'd made. And there's a cat in a box. She's exploring. She's got the office to herself with me today. There's no other cats in with her, and she's taking the opportunity to have a good look around at all the places she can't normally look. So aluminium, I only had, including what was in the system, 41 ingots. Now that ain't gonna fly. So then I went, well, I better make some aluminium. So I went and had a look at my cryolite and alumina, and alumina's not bad. We've got 849 alumina. I had quite a bit. I had no cryolite, so I went to the Twilight. I mined a load of cryolite, which reminds me I do need to do something with you. You are a Damascus steel hammer. I would really like to get you to the point where, there we go, Damascus, let's go with that. I would really like to get you to the point where 1530 to 5070 all the way to the point where we can get a regeneration moss on there, but we can't. But yeah, so I wore that down to a nub, and I also got a whole load of silver. I have processed all the lead. I do need to do the silver, and I came back and wandered over here to start processing the cryolite ore, and in there was a whole load of cryolite. So anyway, long story short, we started processing cryolite, we got all of that up, and I now have another 212 ingots of aluminium. I've also been running all of the Certus quartz that has come through, and I've just been running that through here, and I won't use the word clever, I put a hopper on the bottom and a hopper on the top of the basic centrifuge, so I could bulk load that and it could just centrifuge stuff, and then I'd AFK and come back a couple of hours later and restock it and yada yada. And I've done that for about 2 days. So I've got a whole load of stuff in here. We've done some more cryolite dust. I might as well go and put you away in the sodium, I think. We can do the niobium as well. So that's where we've got to. So now I need to start utilising a lot of that stuff. I've also, as I say, been processing as much as I can. So I don't know whether I've been doing the odd dregs of stuff. I've done a load of lead. I've processed up this quartzite, which apparently if we centrifuge that will give me quartzite and barite. Barite can be electrolyzed for barium and stuff. and presumably maybe it has other uses as well, or maybe not, who knows. And then we've just got this crush rock salt process, and all of that went through the steam processor hammer thing will be done. I also processed up a load of redstone. I ran out of storage for the redstone in the system. This is now almost full at 64 stacks, so I compressed a little just to give me that. And the cryolite can go away there. Niobium. Niobium? Yeah, I've got no idea there. Tin. Certus quartz goes in there. And we're probably going to need to get sorting some storage out for the Certus and stuff. I'm actually, that's probably going to be better in a drawer or something because of the volume. But this storage is starting to wear out. As you can see, it's running out of space. Now we've got a whole load of mica to process. We've got polyacite, we've got silicon dioxide dusts, we've got all of this. We've got everything in here, coals, oil sands, bentonite, rocks, things. So I am going to do more of these big processing days where I just sit there and, rather than record, process up a load of stuff. I'd like to get rid of that chest. I'd like to get rid of this chest. I'd like to get rid of all of this sulfur, for example. There's a whole load of lapis, there's a whole load of lazurite, there's fuller's earth up there, there's whatever that is, magnesite. All of this stuff needs to be gone, because I think I need to reimagine my storage, which is going to be fun because I'm going to have to reimagine my periodic table wall. Although it's not quite big enough to be a periodic table wall because it hasn't got the bottom bits. I haven't got uranium or anything yet, and I don't think I'm going to have it for a while, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, sodium. We need to put the sodium away. Right, let me see what we need to do. Let's go through this again. I need 2 energy hatches, which is going to be 16. I need 2 input hatches, which is going to be, that's 32. I need 2 output hatches, which is going to be 48. I need 48 plus 8, 56. I'm going to need none for that, and I'm going to need 2 for that. What did I say? 48, 56 plus 16, 66, 72. Oh, and then we'll use the assembler to make them into MV machine hulls. If we can, I need polyethylene for that, but we'll do 72 basic machine hulls. So let me go and grab 72 of these. 64. There's 72. Let's go and get those rolled. And well, I shall be back once we've done that. Back in a moment. Alright, we've got those. I'm just doing some copper rods which I need to put through the basic cutting machine to turn into bolts. That should be 24 copper plates. Now, copper plates, if I want to make double copper plates, it's a hammer or 2 of those on program 2, and they're all double. Medium voltage, okay. Hammer then, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. You should be spitting those out. They need to then go through the lathe to turn them into bolts. We'll need them going forward because it looks like medium voltage uses copper chests and copper tanks for its kind of base points. If we look in here, that's polyethylene, MV machine hull, copper chest, program 1 to make those. So a copper chest is 3 double copper plates, and that actually, okay, in low voltage. That's even cheaper. That's even easier then. I really should have some workbenches around here, shouldn't I? This is suboptimal. Where's my lathe? Lathe. If I were a lathe. There we go. Right, so, and of course, true to all Minecraft worlds, it is persistently raining. So, yeah, where's my lathe? There you go. Boop, boop, boo. Get some of those. Bang. Sneeze. Remember to edit that out, John. And I actually don't need the screws if I'm doing it that way, do I? Okay, well, I feel a bit sad now that I made those screws for no apparent reason. Plus I already had 54. But I think we can do that to make those, and then we need some chesticles. We need 2 chesticles. Let's get those. I should have a couple of yep, got some chesticles pre-made. Whack those through an assembler, and that will save me some copper platage. Not that copper plates are actually in short supply, but you know. Basic assembler, LV, that's fine. Yeah, 2 of those and 6 of those copper chests. So then we just need to make the machine holes, and that will allow us to do the input buses, which let's go and do that, because I've got to make the tanks for the other one, and tanks are a bit of a bind. So we need a wrench and the copper and the aluminium plates. Let's do this correct, John. Wrenchage and platage and platage. So that's 9 machine casings. Now these need to be 2 copper, so 18 copper cables plus molten polyethylene. 18 copper cables. So an annealed copper cable. 1. No, we got 11 copper cables. Can I coin purchase cables, or do I need to make them? I suppose first question, isn't it? Copper cables, technician. We can get 16. That will set me some way on the way. Detect, purchase. We'll keep 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll keep 20 of those about my personage as well. It's not like I'm shy of them. Then we can keep buying copper cables then, can't we? Because I'm sure in medium voltage we're going to need a few of these. So yeah, let's do that for now. Right, what am I doing? 18. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I need more copper cables still. Okay, let's just have a look. I've got 145. Let me take 32 of those. And molten rubber. Let's go and make myself some copper cables. I can buy them as well, but you know, we'll just do 32 for now. This should be I think if we do that, we do that program 24 on the assembler. Yeah, program 24 on the 24. Give you some of that, chuck that in, off that goes. So that's going to take a hot minute, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, so program 1 is polyethylene, machine hull, and that. However, I need to get the machine hull That needs to be program 0. Still needs polyethylene. So let me go 18. Can I get away with that? Will that give me? Yeah, it doesn't concern itself about the program at that point. That's fine. So that's all of our medium voltage machine hulls created, which is good, because that means that we've taken a big step in the right direction, because a lot of these are actually quite straightforward. It's just a lot of stuff. And then program 1 is polyethylene, so I need 2 of those and 2 of those. In a medium voltage assembler. Okay, of course it was. Program 1 in a medium voltage. I have to need a medium voltage assembler to make bloody medium voltage machines. It makes no sense whatsoever. Stupid. Okay. Somewhere. Advanced assembler. Program 1. Molten polyethylene. You and you. And we will have that, but I need an input and an output. If I remember, one is so if I remember rightly, let me just have a look at that. We can input or output. So yeah, one of these is input, one of these is output. Then we need the fluid one. Let's come and have a look at the fluid. Well, let me get rid of, in fact, leave that until I've made it. Copper tank needs a tank. Tank needs strengthened glass, stuff and stuff. We could do that with iron, obsidian glass or strengthened glass. Which is the easiest? Saltpeter, tin powder and molten glass. I think I've got saltpeter. Let's go and have a look. Got a niggling feeling that I should have some saltpeter. Maybe don't have a lot of saltpeter. Hang on, I got a little bit there, 3. And that's all mica. Where did I get you from then? Saltpeter ore, okay. So do I have saltpeter? Rock salt, apatite, bentonite. I mean, none of this looks like saltpeter. If I centrifuge you, I could get some more with an 11% chance, or I can wash you and then I don't want to electrolyze, I just want to. I'm probably just better off centrifuging it then, aren't I? There's some more crushed saltpeter, we can run that through. So I've obviously encountered saltpeter somewhere along the line, I just don't know where. Either that or it's been a byproduct of something or other. Weird. I love it when I have weird things that I don't know where I got them from. Oh, there's a bit more crushed saltpeter. Oh, look. Wonderful. Well, you know what? That is a start. There's some saltpeter. Let me go and get that cleaned up and processed, and then I can actually use that to make this oh, hang on. Yeah, there wasn't. I put that in automatically and forgot that you can't do. You have to do multiples of 8, but that's fine. So while that is crushing, take one of these with a screwdriver. No? Yes, but in a 3x3. Of course it is. and that becomes an output bus. So you've got input, output, and we can get rid of that. That's off the list. Have I got a... I've got a chest. I know I've got a chest down there. Let me just stick a chest nearby so I can start putting my... Well, I'm going to have to get rid of those goldfish plants at some point. They are just really, really annoying. But yeah, we can start putting in our stuff that we're going to use to upgrade this this thing. Input, output. There's output, there's input. So those are the two items that we are going to replace. Lovely. What else have we got? We've got a muffler which requires a steel rotor, a steel fluid, and an electric motor. Okay, while I'm waiting on that, let me have a look. I think I may have an electric motor. Before I go running off, is there a cheaper version? There's a MV. There is literally no benefit to doing that. A steel fluid pipe. It's a large steel fluid pipe. Can I deconstruct you? I can get 6. And what's the recipe to make those? 6. Okay. So we can arc furnace that one back into 6. We need some oxygen, doesn't it? I'm sure I've got oxygen somewhere kicking around. Yeah, in my inventory. Let me go and find my arc furnace, and we'll turn those back into steel, and then we'll run them back up into large. I mean, I don't need to. I've got lots and lots and lots of steel. No, let's not. Let's do this properly. I'm doing muffler hatch. I need a steel fluid pipe, which is an extruder. 3 steel ingots. Wow, that's going to be expensive. Plus 5 for the rotor, isn't it? So 8 steel. Yeah, let's not cheap. Let's not cheap that. I'll go and do that glass in a minute. We're on a roll. Let's not interfere with our roll. I need a steel fluid pipe. Normal pipe. 1, 2, 3. Bang. And then I need a rotor. And then we can just go and make this thing, because apparently there is absolutely no benefit whatsoever to doing this any other way. You see, I get it. When you get a recipe for that and you've got a shaped crafting and an assembler recipe, that should be cheaper. That's the point of having the assembler, is that it becomes cheaper. So I need the output hatches, and we're coming back to the energy hatch. That's probably the most complicated one we've got to do. Right, let me do this saltpeter. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I just got something popped up, but this quartzite, purified quartzite dust, I did for a reason. Because purified quartzite, well, quartzite dust is what you make glass out of. And purified quartzite dust, if we run this through a centrifuge, there's a chance of getting barite dust, which we might as well. You know, it doesn't cost us any more. We can stack this up. I can AFK, it doesn't really matter what I do. But we can just... And again, I could have done this with a more GregTech-y technical solution, but I'll be honest, hoppers work and they're relatively inexpensive. And that just gives me a little bit... I will use the word automation. It's really not truly automation, is it? Oh, fishy, leafy fish sandwich. Yeah. So we've got all of the tin. We've got saltpeter. That will make me 60 glass, or hardened glass. but we do need to do that with quartzite, so I need to process this through first to get the quartzite to then put through the, let me get this right, this will become that. You can go through the fluid extraction, which will give me 72 molten glass per, and I need 864 per 6, so fair bit, but I've got quite a lot of quartzite, so let's utilize it. However, that is going to take a hot minute to process that lot together, so kind of all of that is there doing stuff for this one. We have, however, got to also do this. Now this requires me to have some lubricant cells, which I can do easily. We need an electric pump, which is slightly less easy, but again, it's doable. It's no biggie. So let us start throwing down. I'm just going to have a look at what I've done with these crafting tables, because they should all be empty. They are lovely. So let us start looking at an electric pump. We need an electric motor and copper wire. And I'm fairly certain I don't have any of those. So let's put you in with one of those. What else do I need? I need a bronze screw and a bronze rotor and 2 of those rings. And a steel fluid pipe, so 3 more steel. 3 more steel. Have I got any bronze screws? I'd be very surprised if I do. I've got a bronze bolt, so that's certainly that. I need 3 steel because I need to extrude another fluid pipe. 3 steel. And bronze. I need a bronze rotor, don't I? Ardite, brass, tumbaga. Come on, please have some bronze. No, got the bronze. Oh, I must have some bronze. I need to do something with these gold nuggets as well. They need a home because they're taking over. Yay! I had bronze. There's simple pleasures in life. So you need to be a rotor for that, and then I think that's the normal pipe, isn't it? You need to be that for that, and then we need to go and lathe that screw. Lathe is there. Bang. And that should be, again, you see, absolutely no benefit. That doesn't get any cheaper. The only difference is you don't need those tools, which I suppose is a bit of a benefit. Hello, back. Yeah, we can do that. No, we can't, because I've left the thing. I might as well do it with the tools then. It's a bit of durability. So the only thing it saves is durability on your tools, which just doesn't seem worth the difference in effort. Not when you consider that, you know, we've got a pipe and a rotor, a screw, a wrench and a screwdriver to get that. And then over here we can start assembling this bit. So, because, and let me just check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exactly the same cost again. I suppose the advantage here is that you don't actually have to. You can just pile a load in and they just make them for you. I suppose that would be an advantage. Here I am. I'm grudgingly trying to come up with a way where this is a benefit. So 2 lubricant cells. Oh. Fish oil. refined glue. Come on, I know I'm going to have some lubricant somewhere. No? I must have it. Let me go and have a look in the saw. Cutting machine, I'm sure that will have lubricant in it. Yes. Borrow from Peter to pay Paul. Must be awful if the only people you know and your best friends are like Peter and Paul. They must be really suspicious whenever you ask them for anything. Right, medium voltage cell, fine aluminium wire and a magnetic framework. So fine aluminium wire is the wire mill. So 4 aluminium, alum. 4 aluminium, 8 aluminium. Let's go and make fine wire. Boo boo, boo 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 boo. Wire mill, wire mill. Make you into that. We're going to do you, and you're going to be on program 3, which is great because that's where you are. Right. So that will then get us the energy inputs, or almost. Then we've just got one more component to do of those. Getting there, see? I made out this was going to be a massive job, and it's only taken about 2 days of actual in-game effort. I mean, real days, not in-game days. I don't know how many in-game days that was worked out to be, especially with the AFKing. But, well, some things need to be done. You know, it's just the thing that you have to do. 64 of those. Then I need 4 magnetic steel rods. Damascus steel rod, tin rod, iron rod, magnetic iron rod. There you are, and I'm going to hack it. So two steel ingots. See, this is one of the things I'm finding now. I'm having to travel around a lot now to pick up my inventory, and because this space is now empty, this is starting to feel like it's the place where I should be. Essentially what I'm trying to say, I think, is that I think this is where all of my machines and everything should go, and in this building is where my inventory should be. Yeah, that was probably the better way of describing what I was trying to say there. Well done. Right, so we'll whack these through, we'll polarize them, and that will give us everything we need to make those. Polarizer, oh God only knows where that is. But you see, if everything's out here, then we know everything's out here. Right, it's not going to be on this side. That does not feel like a place where I put my polarizer. Electric furnace, harsh hammer compressor, alloy smelter, scanner, basic polarizer. In you go, do your thing, bish, bash, bosh, and then that goes in a medium voltage assembler on program 1. Luckily I got one of them in it. Medium voltage assembler on program 1. I can take the polyethylene out as well, can't I? I don't need that. I need to make more of that at some point. That's going to catch up on me at one point. I'm going to suddenly find that I haven't got enough. But that's a problem for tomorrow, I think. Well, actually, a problem for tomorrow is making one that can actually do stuff, which is what all of this is about. This is about making one thing: a stainless steel screw. That's it. All of this is to make stainless steel, or specifically in this instance, a stainless steel screw. But you know, ultimately, so I've only made. I need 2 of those, idiot. Right. Let's go get a couple more lubricants, and then we need to go and make all the bits again, another pump. Okay, I'll do that, be back in a sec. Alright, we've hit another snag. So I need to cut up, to get an all-pick wafer, I need to cut up a wafer in my laser engraver using one of these lenses. So I can do it with emerald, Terra crystal plate, block of Terra crystal, 9 Terra crystals. So I could use Terra crystals. They're probably easier than for me than I think it's emerald or Terra crystals. I think, and I'm going to go with Terra crystals, I think, because, well, let's just go and have a look at what my emerald stock's like, but I don't have a lot of emeralds. You know what? I've got emeralds. Let's not cheap out. An exquisite emerald on a lathe, or an emerald plate on a lathe. An exquisite emerald is if I want an exquisite emerald, I need a flawless emerald. That's a recipe. Okay, hang on. How do I make an emerald? There is a way to get an exquisite emerald. There is a way of upping. I also have a cat grumbling by my door who would like to come in. I think we might have to go with the emerald plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm in 2 minds. I think, no, right now, I'm fairly certain that if I were to go and start prospecting around in the Twilight Forest, I'd find Terra crystals quite easily, comparatively to emerald, which I haven't got yet, I don't think. It's not been a major concern. I suppose I could breed villagers and melt them. That would always be an option. I think that was a thing that worked in this version of Minecraft. And yes, it sounds unnecessarily cruel. Of course it's unnecessarily cruel. You're having a little bit of a... Are you having a little bit of a problem there? Are you full? You are full. Okay. We probably need to do something about that. But right now, what we'll do is just bin a load. I'll take the time to come and empty that later. I may need to turn that off if I'm being brutally honest. It's getting a little bit above, but beyond, productive. Mind you, I can make rainbow curry now. That's the thought. I should be making myself a rainbow. Is it rainbow curry or is it epic bacon? I can never remember what I wanted the dyes for. You can never have enough dyes. First rule. Right, let us come in here, have a look. We've got 25. I know that's obviously I've got more emerald, but I do genuinely believe that right now I don't think I've got emerald on my map at all. I don't think there's a single instance of emerald on here. There's diamond, plenty. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that looks like it's going to give me emeralds. So, I think we're going to have more success getting Terra crystals in the Twilight. Anyway, let's go and compress that, saw it up into plates, cut down one of them through in the laser, and cut down one of them in the lathe to make a crystal, which I can then use to make that thing. So yeah, right. See you in a mo. All right, just for embarrassment, I have made the block of Terra. And I came over here and look, lo and behold, I had an emerald plate. However, oh no, this is not as simple as you would think. You see, an emerald lens requires either an exquisite emerald or an emerald plate in a medium voltage. So I either need to get an exquisite emerald or an emerald plate. Now, if I go back to here and look at Terra lenses, the only option is a plate, which means medium voltage. Hindenburgite lens there, none of that is there. This is the only thing. I need an exquisite emerald. So to get an exquisite emerald, the ore stats for emerald ore are Twilight Forest or Horus. So I do need emerald, because I have got emerald. I have got an exquisite emerald. Oh, yeah, it'll teach me to look, won't it? Right. Oh, there I was thinking I was going to have to go on another mining trip to the Twilight to get more emeralds. I've obviously found more emeralds. Let me get you in the lathe. And it takes a while. So while that is doing that, I am going to continue moving the dies out of that chest over, and I've been doing that through the simple expedient of using as much inventory space as I can reasonably carry around with me. I'll also sleep the night off, because who wants to work in the dark? And again, I'll see you in a short while. Alright, I have got a thing, the right lens. I need to make a wafer. A wafer is made using a monocrystalline silicon ball. A monocrystalline silicon ball is into all sorts of fun, aren't we? Medium voltage, that's fine, I can do that. Solar grade, have I got any of that? I mean, coal. Don't even know what it... Solar grade poly Si. I need more than that, don't I? Hang on. Actually, double hang on, let's just buy one of those. Yeah, that was not what I wanted to do though. Let's go back here, because I am fairly certain in the MV tree there is a silicon solar grade poly Si dust, which requires what? How do I make you? I make it with... Yeah, I don't think that's something we've got. It's space mining. So, I'm fairly certain that that is not something I am going to mine. Monocrystalline, the process takes 400 solar silicate dust and a small gallium arsenide crystal. But that's the one that I need to work out how to make, and I'm making you with no idea. Tetrachlorosilane does not ring any bells. Hydrogen, yeah, okay, that's just this thing. Zinc, and silicon tetrachloride. Macerator is not the option. Centrifuge. I mean, that's not helping me. Thermal centrifuge, simple ore washers. Let me just take a step back. Silicon grey. Whatever path you followed, you now have silicon. Okay, so there was a path here that I did. Silicon tetrachloride. Okay, so I have done it. It's just a while ago. So I need silicon tetrachloride, which is what? Yeah, I mean, okay, that's obvious. Raw silicon and chlorine. Okay, I think we can manage raw silicon. And chlorine to make that. Yes. Okay. And add that to one of those to make one of those. Now I need how many to make a ball? 32, so I've got 8, so I need 24, which means I need to do 24 of these. Hello, hang on. Oh. Let's try that again, shall we? $24 of those with quite a lot more of chlorine. Now I should have fluorine, nitrogen, chlorine. Yeah, I've got plenty. So let's take you and let's go and get a chemical reactor. I suspect that I'm not going to finish this episode. This is probably going to be a 2-episode job, just because it's a git. But I suppose I am kind of trying to...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Thanks. I'm trying to do things without following the thing. So clearly there is a path here which is going to move me to a silicon wafer, which will move me to probably a medium voltage EBF. So this is probably where we need to be going. I need to check the gallium arsenide as well, but arsenide? Arside? Oh, I don't know. Read into it what you will. Where are you, chemical reactor? There you are. Okay. So if I can just plug you there temporarily, that's my chemical reactor. You need to go into that chemical reactor. It doesn't matter about the program with 4 hydrogen. Okay, I could do with some cells, couldn't I? Yeah, this is definitely things getting in my way. And like I say, this is just so I can make a stainless steel screw, which is terrifying when you consider that simple fact. Let's have a butty. Apple jelly sounds disgusting. I'm not a big fan. Well, I'm not a big fan of fruit preserves, and I think what Americans call jelly we would call jam. I may be wrong on that one, but I'm not a big fan of jam either, so you know, read into that what you will. So for each one of those I need 4 of those, so 24, 48 I'm going to need. 48 will do me 12, so I'm going to need another. Well, okay, well, I'm definitely going to need another one. You can go in there, or as much of you as possible. I hope I've not just created something in error there, but we'll find out. They're not expensive materials, that is the plus side. So let's see, what do we get? Silicon tetrachloride. Is that what I wanted? Hang on a second. Silicon tetrachloride. Yeah, that is actually what I wanted. So what setting was that on? Setting 2. That's why, because I put them in like that, didn't I? Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to need more chlorine, and I'm going to have to run this through. I shall be back in a short while. Alright, we've got the 32 solar grade. We had to use 3 32 litre tanks of chlorine to get the 24 we needed. I need to whack this through a forge hammer. That will give me the smithing, and then this thing I'm going to put in a blast furnace 32 and one of those. Just do that. I'm going to put the crystals away in my crystal chest. Is probably as good a place as any. We are absolutely not going to get this done today, I don't think. You are on program 2. I think that's the first time I've changed the program on this in ages. That it's going to take 450 seconds. That is going to probably hit these batteries quite hard. Hopefully we've got enough. $1,080,000. 400, 800. Yeah, we've definitely got enough. Plus this thing's kicking out all the good stuff as well. So that's not, we'll get away from the noise there. So once we've got that, we will then be able to cut that, I believe. Hang on, let me just have a look. We stick the U3 on a cutting machine. We get 16 wafers out of that. Okay, and then we take those wafers and we laser engrave them to make old pick wafers. And we then put those through. Oh, okay, you get 6. So they're not actually too bad once you've got one of those balls, but I imagine a lot of things are going to ask for them. So let's try and get to here. We may go slightly over the hour, but if I can get to there, then that just leaves the output hatch and these and that lot to do. I don't know why that is in there, and I don't need you anymore in there. Okay, so I'm going to let that cook, and I'll be back as soon as that's done. And a mere 450 seconds later, there you have our monosilicon silicrystalline ball. Woohoo! Let's have a look. What do we get for that? Oh, we get 30. We could have that. I've got those. Let's go there because that's a pain in the butt to get. So from there, oh, we can get into solar. Cool. Ultra, and we medium voltage. You're going to need to hate the. Okay, that's fine. Right, we need to make. Oh, don't tell me I need a medium voltage cutting machine. Oh, good grief. Just a rabbit hole. Not according to that, so why? Why? So you cut into 16 in that. No, you don't. But that says it's LV. It hasn't got lubricant. Okay, that answers. I'm going to go and borrow. Hang on, idiot. Okay, so that will give me. Definitely glad I got those. and then we can have stuff. Okay. So So that will give me, some more of that and that. So you really are going to force me into making that one as well. Because you'll need it soon for ILC's chips and other. But I don't need it now. I don't need it now. All right. So let me get this going, and let's get over here and go F2. Let's get a screenshot of that, because I think we're going to leave this one here for now. I'm going to need to make another medium voltage machine hole to make that medium voltage cutting machine, and then we can complete that quest and move on, and hopefully get to a point where we can move on with some of this other stuff. Let me just put that in there for now. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, guys. There's definitely been a trip down the rabbit hole, and we haven't even got close to upgrading this. We've got 3 bits, that's almost there, just these 2, but we need to do other bits first, and then we need to do those and those, which I think I can probably do a bit of prep work for next episode to try and speed that up a little bit. But on that note, till next time, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye for now.